welcome to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? And we give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with
Elizabeth Helly
and
Tyler Hymanson.
And the Annabelles are back.
Annabelles.
Annabelle creation. You know what? I saw that movie Annabelle, and I really liked it.
I wonder how it was.
That's how
Annabelles came to be.
No, they saw The Conjuring.
I know. You're right. All right, welcome back to our coverage of the Conjuring universe as we work our way to September's release of The Conjuring Last Rites, not to be confused with Sequel Rights.
Yes.
Spelled different.
Yeah, spelled different. And we are here talking this week 2017's
Sequel.
Annabelle sequel, Annabelle Creation, where we get to finally find out how Annabelle was created for the third time. But this time it's real.
But also confusing. We'll talk about the varying power levels of how this...
Yes. I think it all makes sense.
We'll talk about
I'll get to it.
But in the meantime, we're still waiting for haunted stories to come in. Sequelrights@gmail.com if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for where to go in the future. And you can also find us on social media on Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Oh my God, what if there's a spooky mailman out there that's stopping all of the spooky stories from getting to us?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Also, if you have a giant doll collection and love dolls, we want you on this podcast.
Yeah,
so
we do. Yeah,
send us an email.
please.
There's still one more Annabelle movie.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about those dolls.
We can bring you in. And also, The Nun is behind
Doll adjacent.
Annabelle. Yeah, so, whatever. No.
Is it, though?
No.
Well,
The Nun
it's a
The Nun
different...
is different.
Valak is different.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is... Well, we'll get into that, too.
We'll get into it, but
All
The
right.
Nun has nothing to do with this.
Even though there's a nun.
A nun.
She's
There's
not
a nun.
the nun.
Yeah, she's
no,
not
the nun is there.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Okay, yeah. Fine. All right.
Oh, that nun is there.
Tyler.
Also,
A
rate
nun.
and review wherever you're listening. 5 stars goes a long way to warding off evil mailman ghosts that are stopping us from getting your spooky stories.
Spooky.
I don't know why it would have to be a mailman that's actually stopping the mail, but...
Because it's email.
Email man.
And also,
Email man.
like, it's a male person.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Male
There you
carrier.
go. You're fired.
Yeah.
You're fired now.
I'll see
right.
myself out.
All right. You guys. Well, I hope you guys have enjoying our coverage. We've had some great guests. We just last week talked about The Conjuring 2, the one where Patrick Wilson sings.
Sings a little song.
And unfortunately, he is not singing in this one. We'll just give you
Boo.
a spoiler warning right at the top. He does not sing. He's not in this movie. I'm so sorry. But
We don't know. It's possible that he sang a little song on set to make everybody happy.
was he a member of Skillet? Yeah. No. Jokes. Okay. Anyways, let's get into our review of Annabelle Creation.
Janice says she's seen your daughter.
My daughter has been dead for a very long time.
She was taken from us at an early age. We prayed to see our beloved girl again. The contact started small, but then it wanted permission to move into a doll so that it could be with us forever. We said yes.
Jesus.
For a movie that takes place in, like, what, the 1930s?
I was trying to figure out. I don't think
It sounds very... When was polio? During the Great Depression?
When was polio?
No, I'm serious.
Always?
No, but you know, like the...
Always up until the vaccine. But guess what? Speaking of sequels.
Oh, my God.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, if it was, like, the 1940s or what. No, I mean, they had a TV, so when was that?
Yeah, it had to be.
They had a TV.
And when did the first Annabelle take place again? 60
70s? So, yeah, maybe it's like the 50s?
I'm going to look.
Is World War II over?
I wish it said in the. It does not say what the dates are for the movie in the Wikipedia. 1967 for Annabelle, and spoiler alert.
So yeah,
well,
she's 20. Then yeah. So 40.
so it's probably 40 something.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. They're
Post World War II.
yeah, it doesn't say in the Wikipedia what the dates are on that. Sorry, we don't know.
I don't know.
It's an old movie, okay? There's old-timey cars, lots of dust.
Yeah.
Lots of
But
dust.
this came out in 2017.
yeah.
Yes.
What state are they in?
I think it actually is California.
Oh, okay. It's just
Yeah.
like a
It's got to be because
rural,
Like Central Valley.
Okay.
yeah. It's got to be California because of the way the things end.
They're in Fresno.
I mean, maybe that's why I was wondering the whole time, like, how far did she walk? But anyway, okay. So this movie starts out, like Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
I mean, immediately I was like, oh, this is like that one part in Toy Story 2.
Tim Allen's there.
No, you know
got,
what part I'm talking
Santa.
about.
Samuel Mullins is getting his Geppetto on.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Painting up some eyeballs.
But it's very like, zoomed in and,
Yes.
whatever. But
Yeah, he's painting some eyeballs. You can tell he's, we see like the different pieces of Annabelle coming together.
yeah,
You could say that we're witnessing her creation.
we are. And we did not know until now that she's a LE 100.
That's right. One of 100.
Right.
I mean,
Much like a Disney pin. It's just only
Do you
one of
think-
100. That's pretty good.
do you think when that guy at the church later on is like, everyone's looking for your dolls, guy. Talk to me. And he just stands there while his wife says everything. He just stands and looks. Do you think that he's talking about the Annabelle dolls and like he shipped out a bunch of them?
No.
Or he only made this one doll?
Well, I feel like he only made one, but that also doesn't make sense with what happens in the next movie. But I don't know. It might be that it was like a style of doll or some sort of upgrade, and
Well,
they
they
were
say-
waiting for him to make that type.
They say in the first one that, the first Annabelle movie that she's extremely rare. So it's possible.
Well, but she was trying to like complete a set. Remember, there was like a black Annabelle, and they
Right.
all had the white
Yeah.
dress with the red flower.
Right, but
so yeah,
I'm
maybe
saying,
he
like-
did send out.
Did he make any more of that a specific one?
I mean, maybe, but doesn't seem like it because it seems like the disaster happens like right after.
Yeah,
He does,
you're
but
right.
who knows?
Who
It's hard to
knows?
say. We're just guessing at what he's even talking about.
Yeah.
We find out that
He makes
Mr.
Power Rangers
Mullins,
action figures.
Mr. Mullins has a daughter named Bee,
Bees.
who later on we find out her name is Annabelle.
Bumblebee.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why
Yes,
they call
B
her
is
Bee.
short for Annabelle. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, yeah, it's not too.
She likes to, of course, his daughter. He makes creepy dolls. His daughter likes to play creepy games.
Yep.
She's got this kind of like hide and seek type game. I mean, it's actually it's cute, but it's like
Yeah.
you can see right away, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be creepy later. And yeah, the one thing I remember, I did not remember a ton about this movie, but the one thing I remember is the way it opens. And like, there's that scene where it's like, yeah, they're coming home from church. He's changing the tire, and like, I don't know, a nut flies out into the road, and she's like, "I'll get it," and then immediately brutally gets hit by a car, and then it's like Annabelle creation.
Yeah.
And
She
I
gets
remember being in
pet
theaters like,
cemeteried.
yeah, I remember getting in theaters being like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah, it was wild.
okay, here we go,
Yeah.
movie."
Yeah. And
did.
Miranda Otto is his wife.
That's right.
Yeah, Miranda Otto.
She's no man.
There you go. Tyler and I were arguing about who was going to say it
Yes.
before the.
Well, also, I was
recording.
going to say, like, every time we mention Miranda Otto, we have to hear this. And obviously, I pulled the overture version
The
from
movie?
the Patrick
Patrick
Wilson
Wilson
version.
version.
Yes, I knew it. I was literally
Amazing.
about to ask you. I was like, "Is this the movie?"
I have to keep it in universe.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah. The
Incredible.
sad part is that I can tell the difference.
You're like, shit, yeah, Eli's knew automatically.
I'm a hardcore Phantom movie person because my mom doesn't like Andrew Lloyd Webber, so I never knew about Phantom till the movie came out, and I was like, "Yeah, the Phantom's hot." And then I saw the show and was like, "Oh, he's not supposed to be hot." Oh, got it.
I just totally forgot that she had been wearing like
Me
a
too.
Phantom mask the
Yes,
entire
the entire
movie.
time.
Most of
Wild
the movie.
that's what they decided to go for.
It's probably because her soup is so bad. She's embarrassed.
Well, and also it's like that wound didn't heal right.
Yeah.
No,
It's not. It's been like years, and
It's demon touch.
yeah, it's still like
good point.
festering.
Yeah.
Blech.
Well, so Annabelle gets hit by a car.
Yep.
The girl.
Annabelle, the girl, she's super dead. 7-year-old.
Super dead.
Right away. We immediately cut to 12 years later, and we find out that the Mullins have opened their home.
So they live in a pretty sick farmhouse type thing.
They were basically, the makers of this film were like, we got to get back to the house from The Conjuring.
Yes.
Right.
We got the tree there, basically, that looks the same type of tree. Same
Scary
type of house.
barn.
Yeah.
You know, place under the stairs, instantly creepy. Dumbwaiter, instantly creepy.
Oh my God, dumbwaiter.
And the dumbwaiter wastes no time in being creepy.
Oh no. We don't get a lot of basement in this one.
No.
So I guess maybe we are in California. They were like, no basements.
Yeah.
We don't really get an attic either, but we have a creepy, like, beast. Don't go into that room.
Yes.
It's locked area.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one, there's 2 locked rooms.
Yeah.
Downstairs and upstairs.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy what this movie does, and I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if this was intentional for the movie. If they were trying to make it like, do we trust these people? Do we trust the Mullins? Are they evil? Are they not evil? Or like, what's going on here? And like, it's fine. Like,
My take is more like, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like,
Yeah.
why? I was like, why? Why would you accept all these orphans and not act like you're happy about it?
right. Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this if you're going to be like
It's
a
interesting.
silent piece of shit the whole
Well,
time?
it seems like I don't know if they explicitly say it, but they also like made some kind of agreement that the nun would help take care of the wife. Because
Yeah.
like when the husband has to go out or something. And then they say that they had to come there because the orphanage just like shut down. They didn't like really give a reason for it. They were like, we're here. And it's interesting because like, yeah, the couple, their daughter died, right? And you can tell that this guy, you know, likes kids and misses his daughter, you know, but he's also like so standoffish that it's just like, you're not sure, like, because it's like, oh, he's supposed to be creepy to them, or is he not? Is he trying to be fatherly? I read in Wikipedia that Anthony LaPaglia only took this role because his 14-year-old daughter told him to. When she heard that, like, somebody had offered him an Annabelle movie, she was like, yeah, you should do that. That's cool. And he was like, you know, and then
Well, you can tell.
apparently he tried to be like, not super method, but he tried to not fraternize with the young actresses like on set. He would stay in his trailer. He would be not mean to them, but sort of standoffish, unfriendly, so that they would be awkward around him in the scene. And I think he just went overboard.
Yeah.
I think it would have been more interesting, actually, had we seen him kind of embrace them as, you know,
yeah.
guests of in my home, and like, I miss my daughter, and this is like, and that in a way would have, to me, played better, but then also been even more heartbreaking when it all kind of falls apart. And instead it's just like weird and awkward.
Yeah, he's acting like as if someone's forcing him to do this.
Right.
And then like when he gets mad about people opening the door or trying to open the door, it's just like, I was like, oh, it's more of the same. He's a curmudgeon-y, like, why are we doing this? It's not like he was super nice and then turns like dark when he's like, don't touch that. Don't touch that door.
It's just strange.
It was weird. And I don't know. That whole sequence when that guy, I just think it's so weird, that scene when the guy at the church is like, hey, Mr. Mullins, we're looking forward to getting your order.
Dolls.
Like, everyone's asking about your dolls, and he just stares at him and doesn't say anything. And Miranda Otto's like, you know what? The dolls are done. We already, and then he doesn't say anything the whole time. He just turns around and leaves. Like, what?
I don't know.
It's just weird.
Is it the trauma of Annabelle at this point?
No, he was
No, she was alive.
at that point.
Yeah, the trauma of his alive daughter.
No, I just think it's more interesting if he's not creepy to them.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
oh, you guys remind me of my daughter. Oh, I'm sad. You know, like instead he's like trying to keep it a secret that he even had a daughter, and like this whole thing. And also the
They didn't need him to also. Yeah, there's enough creepy stuff going on. He didn't need to also be creepy.
So a stairs elevator seat is like both instantly cool but also instantly scary.
Yep.
And we have it's Chucky, right? That when what's her face comes into it, they have a elevator chair that she is often trying to use, and there's a bunch of movies that use
Gremlins.
it. Oh, really? Okay, I haven't seen that one in a long time.
I want to know how that old ass chair knows that it's buckled up.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
I mean, I was surprised they even have it because what did we just say? 1947?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a guess. I guess we don't know.
I mean, okay, so
He must have built it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like he built it very fancily.
Yeah.
I guess because even when they look at the mechanism under the stairs, it's quite advanced.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how. I mean, this is not like a Disneyland level seatbelt here, and it wasn't like the seatbelt was not going into the bracket like that's in the thing, so it could have a sensor. It was just a regular seatbelt that buckled in the middle,
like an airplane seatbelt.
Yeah.
basically.
So I don't know how it would know, but it did.
The Google AI says that the prologue takes place in 1943 and the primarily takes place in 1955.
Okay, now type when was the stairs electric wheelchair thing invented? It's gonna be like
This is important.
The electric stair chair.
The electric
I mean, they
stair
probably
chair.
had something
here's
even
the
before
history of
electric.
Probably like
chairlifts.
1880.
It was first invented. I mean, I don't know if I trust the AI, but
Right.
let's look at American elevator history of stair lifts. King Henry the Eighth.
Oh wow, okay, fine. But that one they probably had to like pull it.
Okay, it says the earliest recorded
Manpower.
use of a modern stair lift in the United States is 1923.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
When C.C. Crispin designed a seat that could climb stairs for an alien friend. He called it the Inclinator.
That's a good one, actually.
That is pretty
That's
good.
pretty
Yeah,
good. That's pretty
good on you, CC.
Yeah.
So weird.
So another fun fact about this house is that it's Dolores's house from Westworld.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
as
shit.
if there weren't
That's
enough
funny.
horrors already happening, you know.
Classic.
Dolores.
These violent delights.
Oh,
Yeah, that barn. Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
No. Anyway.
Well, we get introduced to 6 lovely orphans.
Did you say orphs?
6 orcs.
6 orphs.
Orf. 6 girls. We've got 2 older ones, 2 middle ones, and 2 younger ones.
Yeah.
We're
Cannon
kind of
fodder.
mostly, yeah,
And they're all white except for the one middle one.
yeah. We kind of mostly get introduced to Janice and her friend. Wait, what's her friend's name?
Linda.
Linda, yeah.
Linda.
Linda's the runt of the litter and she's all
Yes.
insecure or whatever. Yet Janice is a little bit older, but she's the one who has polio.
Yeah.
She got some polio.
The president's disease.
It's kind of wild that they didn't know that she had polio before they got there, and then they just happened to have the stair lift there.
Yeah.
Because they were. I guess the nun was just planning, like she did, to say like, "Oh, can we have a
downstairs?
room in
Yeah.
the first floor?" But like, what if they couldn't have? You know, like it would have been
It
rough.
seems like they couldn't.
Down the well.
yeah. Well, because the wife was already in that one.
That's right.
Yeah, the well. Oh my god.
Get in that well.
Does not need to be a well in this movie.
Now your name is now Samara.
Well, Samara is the name of the actress who plays B.
Oh, there you go. It's all connected.
We'll talk about it later. Actually, no, we won't talk about it later.
Yeah, we immediately get introduced to the stair lift, which is also obviously going to be horrific later on, as we do see later. And yeah, everyone's kind of like, we get the classic. Yeah, we get the classic lay of the land. Everyone's in their rooms checking out stuff.
The girls are being mean to each other.
Yeah, the dumbwaiter's opening on its own. The nun is not having it. Sister Charlotte.
Oh, how did you watch this, Justin?
Me, I watched it on HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I had seen it in theaters when it originally came out.
So you don't have a DVD, though?
No.
Okay, so there's like this weird scene when they're going to the bedrooms for the first time, and a nun, Sister Charlotte, not the nun, she picks up like a baby quilt and like hugs it and looks like, oh, I'm so sad about something, like you didn't even clock this, huh?
No.
Okay, so and then they just never comes up again or mentions it again, and then I read on either IMDb or Wikipedia that there was an entire deleted subplot where she had a baby that she gave up for adoption, and then she became a nun, but then she found out that the kid was adopted and died in a ice falling into the ice accident and froze to death. And so then she has so Annabelle or whomever causes her to have some kind of vision of the dead kid in the ice, like later on, and that it was
like, if
all
only
filmed.
he had this blanket.
Yeah, it was like filmed and everything, and then they were just like, cut it out, don't need it.
Well, as we know, you just need a barometric tent, and you can get out from underneath
That's
the
true.
ice and be
That's
fine.
true. That's true. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was also for the what's it called?
The bends.
Bends. Yeah, it wasn't just for the ice,
Yeah.
but yes.
It fixed all ailments.
It fixes all. Yeah,
You know what really fixes all ailments? Sleeping next to Haley Atwell in a tank top.
Yeah, that's true. That would do it. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Good point.
Okay, movie. I'm back on your side.
What the bends? Yeah.
Yeah. For those were Mission Impossible jokes.
Yes.
Anyway.
So creepy shit's happening right away.
Yeah.
Janice finds a note that says "Find me," and it leads her to the forbidden room that magically is open.
And then how does she get the key?
She finds it. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah.
But she finds the key, and then she opens the forbidden within the forbidden room.
Double forbidden.
Yeah.
And then guess who's in there?
Annabelle.
Annabelle's in there. Creepy ass Annabelle.
Yep.
Staring.
In the Bible room.
Yeah, which at first I thought was newspapers. Then I realized, like later they show very detailed that it's the Book of Lamentations,
Yeah.
which I don't even know that
Oh, is
much
that
about
in
the
the
Book of
credits?
Lamentations.
Yeah.
No, it's like when it shows him making it, and later in the flashback.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna laminate things on a wall,
That's true. The Book of Laminations. Yeah.
Book of laminate. I don't know. Which one should we use? The lamination. That's incredible.
Oh my god.
makes sense to me.
Okay.
And after she opens that door, all hell breaks loose. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
It's like,
much.
demon time, ghosts everywhere.
Well, and most excitingly, the smoke monster from last. Yes.
It almost sounds exactly like
It's exactly the same. They use the same, like, much theorized New York subway sound that the smoke monster
that like
makes.
ticker tape
Yeah,
noise.
I was like, Janice about to get Mr. Echoed over here, like, you know.
I just wanted someone to become like Bargain. Walls.
What? Janice!
It's gonna show her whole life while she stares into it. Yeah, that's the scene with the stair lift, right? When she gets into it and then because she's trying to.
I think
escape
it chases
the
her from the
darkness.
room, though.
does,
It first appears in the room.
Yeah, and it chases her out. She gets in the stair lift. Stair lift starts going real slow down and then
Yeah.
stops and then starts pulling her back up.
Yeah.
Which would be horrifying.
Yeah.
And then it's just standing there at the top of the stairs.
And then this is where the movie starts to like break the rules of lots of horror movies where like the kids don't get hurt. Come on. And she literally gets tossed like down an entire.
It sucks because she already
one
has
story.
polio. In the beginning of the movie, she's
It's
like
brutal.
the nice one that's helping the little one, like, be like in a better mood. We're gonna get adopted together. We're gonna be sisters in real life. You're so beautiful. Don't
Yeah.
be sad. Blah
So
blah blah.
nice.
But then she, once Annabelle and the demons like kind of start manipulating her, she starts becoming like withdrawn and kind of saying like, I'm the weakest, I'm the crappiest one, and that's why the demon's coming after me and I'm gonna die. And the nun is like, no, you're gonna be fine. So yeah, I
Come
think
sit outside by yourself.
I think
Yeah.
usually when there's a little kid or anybody in these movies getting possessed by a demon, it's always this idea that like, oh, they're fighting it, they're in there, they're gonna get out, we're gonna save them. And this girl is just like, fuck, I'm not getting out of this one.
It's really sad because it's like she's already had a horrible life.
Yeah.
And she's right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and she is so nice, and you're just like, I feel bad for her because, she can't escape, and
It really twists. Like you said, it goes against like horror movie rules. It's like, we're not going to save this girl. That's it. She's toast.
Well,
and
I do think that's what
she's going to literally become the demon.
Yeah, what sets this apart is that I do feel like that this movie is acknowledging that there's like, 2017, there's a new kind of generation of horror connoisseurs or genre weirdos that have been watching these, and I feel like that this movie is playing against those expectations in a lot of ways. There are a lot of things that usually work in other types of horror movies that do not work in this movie. And we'll get to those in a little bit later.
But yeah, it's like, she goes upstairs and then she like gets yanked up into the sky and she disappears. And you see like first her shoe lands on the ground and then her like lifeless body. I mean, she's still alive at that point, but it's like literally she just gets dropped like from the second floor down.
It's jarring. It's almost as jarring as the little girl getting hit by the car.
Yeah.
It's sad. Like, it's like, okay, you've got this disabled kid. Now we're going to torture them with a demon and like not even save them. It's like kind of a huge
and ultimately
bummer.
turn them into a horrible monster person.
Right. Yeah.
it's pretty bad. So she gets, she pretty quickly gets possessed.
Mm-hmm.
In the same exact way as the
mom
in the first.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a puke in mouth possession in a minute. Like,
no, not since the first movie.
Yeah. But they brought that back.
Yeah. Because was the girl in the second movie, was she actually possessed?
I don't know. I mean, yes, but I don't think that they did the puking in mouth thing.
No, yeah. It seemed like it took her over and then let her go. It wasn't like It wasn't like now the demon's inside you forever.
Right.
Well, they're just more polite in Britain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, and like when the demon does like possess her, I think at one point it like cuts her, and so I was like, oh, is she gonna have that mark that the lady had in the Annabelle movie? But no. So.
So that's when, things just pretty much get progressively worse. And like, it starts to really torture Linda in some incredible ways, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this movie is just kind of like
it's mean.
It's very mean. And it's a series of like, I feel like it's a series of really well-crafted like jump scares.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of like, it's not the, there's a difference between like what people complain about jump scares and ones that are like this movie, I feel like are well crafted, and there's like a very long buildup of tension to some sort of jump scare instead of just being like a really out of nowhere like bleh, that's what people complain about.
Like the cat in Species 2.
Yeah.
Our favorite.
Right.
It builds so much tension, and then there's
These ones,
and then it does so many times where it's just like, oh, it's not gonna happen. It's like, nope, we're still in the scene. Like, we're continuing. Like, the escalation continues.
Yeah, like I love the scene with Linda and that little like pop gun.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm getting to like between this and every other horror movie and every Ryan Murphy TV show, don't ever roll a little ball into a dark hallway or a fire truck or anything.
Is she going fishing?
Just asking for it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that part is like obvious, but I like I feel like it's a little bit different. I liked the whole thing when it's like going higher.
Yeah,
higher.
that's cool.
And she's like, what the fuck?
Right.
It's like, I think that.
Okay.
I like that as a little bit.
That's the type of visual flair
Twist on
is
that.
the type of thing that got David F. Sandberg Shazam.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's why all these people are in Shazam. Okay. I was like, I was like, oh wow, I'm writing Shazam so many times, and the chat started checking. Gotcha.
I also really love like I feel like we pretty famously like never really see Annabelle move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's that there's that moment where she throws the like sheet over the doll and then turns around, and then we see it stand up and start walking towards her, and it's like I love that like that's
that part's
a
great.
moment where it's like, oh shit, it's like the doll's moving, but we're not actually seeing it
Yeah, we're not cheating
directly.
too much.
And then just that reveal of it, like as it walks, it's pulling the sheet down,
Yeah.
and then there's nothing there.
Looks
It's
great.
so great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's a
This
good
one wasn't as blatant as the first Annabelle movie, but I do still kind of think we saw too much of the demon. I think it's
wasn't
because
as
they were
bad.
like, if we're gonna bring Joseph Bashara, who didn't even compose the music for this movie, we're gonna bring him back and get him all dressed up again. We gotta at least give him some screen
It
time.
says he plays Annabelle Demon in this movie.
Yeah.
They didn't show his whole body jumping around like
No.
Yeah, it didn't bother me as
Nightcrawler
much.
or whatever.
Nightcrawler.
We mostly
Yeah, it's
see,
Alan Cummings.
Yeah, we mostly see like the hands, and we do see the face at one point, and then we see lots of like really creepy, tall, twisted monsters and
Yeah.
some fucked up shit in this movie,
Yeah.
which I liked.
I feel like pretty quickly. I mean, there's other things that happen. There's the well and
there's
all
side
that
plot
stuff.
with the older girls being
Yeah.
scared of the wife with the phantom mask, and then also being also being scared of the scarecrow. Do you have a scarecrow music?
I don't have I'm sorry. I don't
Fuck
have
this scarecrow. I
The
hate
Scarecrow
this shit
is
so much.
frickin' nightmarish.
It's like it's a scarecrow with a burlap sack, and the burlap sack becomes increasingly tighter around like what looks like a face as the movie goes on.
It's funny.
But yeah, one of the girls, I want to say either Nancy or Carol, makes one of the like typical horror movie mistakes of like flirting with some sort of thing that seems scary or whatever, and then later having that
Comeuppance.
get back to you.
I had previously seen this movie, and then I'm always so tired these days. I've got 2 kids and there's a lot going on, and I thought this movie was so funny watching this movie. I was having not that I didn't like it or anything, but I was just having a really hard time falling asleep, and I was always
staying awake.
Yeah, sorry, staying awake. See, I'm so tired. I was having a hard time staying awake, and I was constantly falling asleep like during the scare moments because, like I said, there's like such this long tension
quiet.
and of quietness, and I would like start to fall asleep, and then it would be like, "Brrr!" And I'd be like, oh shit! I wake up and I see a freaky face, and then I'm like, shit! I gotta rewind because I missed that.
You don't know how they got there. Yeah.
And it was very funny. But,
Well, and even like leading up to watching this one, I feel like I remembered it, or that this movie is remembered actually much better than it actually is. Because I remember everyone being like, oh my God, it's amazing, because the last one is so bad.
Yeah.
And people just being like, oh, it's so good. I can't believe they like actually did it. They prequeled it and actually made a good one and blah, blah, blah. And I remember feeling like that when we saw it in the theaters, but watching it this time, I was kind of like, yeah, it is better than, Annabelle proper, but it's not that great. Like, it's still just...
I think it's like leaps and bounds better than that movie.
I just think that,
I think it's good.
all these movies came out with, years or so in between, and I think we are not doing them any favors by watching it immediately after
that's right.
Patrick Wilson sang a little song.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
because I just kept thinking like, oh man, Conjuring 2 is so much better than this, so.
Well, I mean, that's why they gave him Shazam and gave James Wan Aquaman. So
Well, yeah, and then eventually, this is why we were like so starved for the Warrens that we were like, oh, thank God they're putting him in. Annabelle Comes Home. They're gonna be in it for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because that comes out before there's even another Conjuring movie. So there you go.
But what's the next one after this? I mean, I know we're going to talk about it later.
It's
but
The Nun.
The Nun. Okay.
Obviously,
Got it.
did you stay through the credits?
I did indeed.
Even though HBO Max tries to kick you out.
Mine didn't.
Oh, mine was like, bye.
Mine, I
was like,
thought
I
it
wanna
knew
watch
it
the
had
credits.
after credits, so it doesn't kick you out.
Oh, it went.
But
straight
maybe
to
I
the
did just
tiny mode and then
try to watch it. Yeah, I feel like we've just like powered through this so quickly, but
the movie goes pretty fast, and it is literally just like, I feel like it's like scare setup to scare setup, and it's like goes pretty quick, and there's not like a ton of complicated, it's not like The Conjuring 2 where there's like all this storytelling, and I just feel like, yeah, these people are getting haunted, she gets possessed, and then it's just like, there's a little bit of backstory explaining like what happened. Okay, now we get to learn how Annabelle, the doll, became possessed in the first place. It's all these fucking Mullins' fault.
I feel like that the
Because
movie
they prayed to the devil or whatever.
well, we still don't really know how whatever demon like got to their house in the first place.
Well,
they said that they would.
they
They
prayed.
said they prayed to
They
whatever
prayed
would
to it?
listen.
Okay.
They prayed to anything,
That
and it
would
was
listen, yeah.
a bad thing that.
And I do like this thing where it's like at first like we liked it, like
Yeah.
at first like it was here, we were being haunted, but we felt it was pieces of her. I love in this movie where he is holding the cross towards this demon, and all of his fingers just get snapped back in the most gruesome way, and then he just dies.
and
Like,
they
it's
don't cut away.
They don't cut away.
I just couldn't decide if I liked it or not. Obviously, I was
I
like,
thought it
this
was
is
pretty
fucked
cool.
up. I
Yeah.
did like that he immediately died, because by then I was like just sick of this guy. I was
Just
like, I
how
don't-
long is he gonna be able to
yeah.
hold that cross?
You can hold a cross with just one pinky. Yeah.
I do think that the way he acts, though, like, it just makes it so weird that he's suddenly so concerned after the rest of the movie. He's just been like,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you? Oh, we got kids here.
Well, and I feel like it was very
Then he's like,
confusingly
"Oh my
like
God,
I wonder
not
if
the
they
dog."
changed the order or something because like the wife's upset, but she's also like not upset enough that her husband's just died.
Yeah.
Probably from the demon ghost of her daughter, like, and she's just kind of telling the exposition, but not like hysterical. I think you would be hysterical at
She's
that
just
point.
like, I knew this was gonna happen at some
I
point.
guess, yeah.
It's
and
also-
with no fucks given about like, oh, there are 6 small children that
Children.
live here
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like, get out.
Yeah. Also, we played the trailer earlier, and I don't know. It's very odd to me that speech she gives is in the trailer, but in the movie, it's saved
It's
as like
way
it's like a
later.
way late in the film reveal of like this is how it happened.
Well, she's the most famous person in the movie too, but then she's like barely in it.
Yeah.
yeah, she's like being all creepy.
It's sort of weird.
sorry.
It's sort of weird that like they're scared of her in the first place because she's really not that scary other than her mask. And
I was like,
your finger is like hovering over it.
sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah.
It's just so.
So catchy. Can we listen to Patrick
wrote
Wilson
that?
sing
Yeah.
All I Ask of You after
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's weird. She's just like weird. And like, it's really just the girls are just being mean and bitchy. Like, there's really no reason
mean,
to be scared of her.
That feels true, though.
Yeah, I guess so. That's fair.
yeah.
The 2 older girls are basically just like bitchy and like they like boys,
Yeah, they're
unlike
mean
the other
girls their
ones.
way through
Yeah,
the orphanage.
and then the 2 middle ones basically have nothing to do at all. They're just kind of there, and they're kind of like, well, I guess we like the older ones better because they're in charge.
Because they're cool.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I will say, yeah, that their whole running away sequence with the headlights and the scarecrow and all of that, to Justin's point, I feel like that there is just and I believe did Dave F. Sandberg do the Lights Out short? Is that where he?
Yeah.
came
Yeah, it
from?
was his short, and
Yeah.
then he adapted it into.
So like I think that he's fairly good at building these not jump scares but these set pieces that crescendo to these places of terror.
the lights do go out.
The lights
in this
do
film.
go out.
Yeah.
Many times.
Let's just do the child star check-in before we get to the big finale, I guess.
Child star check, child star checking in, child star checking. They're a child star, and we're checking in now.
So, since you brought up the subject of Lights Out, Janice, our main sad girl, is the actress Talitha Bateman of the acting Batemans, but not those acting Batemans, which we most recently talked about because Gabriel Bateman was the little boy drawing a picture of the baby stroller getting run over by a truck in the hallway of Annabelle 1. And then, so Gabriel, the younger brother of Talitha, was then in Lights Out. And so they decided to have Talitha. She auditioned for the role of, was it Janice also? No, Janet in Conjuring 2. Didn't get it. But when this director came on, he was like, oh, she auditioned. You guys liked her. You almost cast her. I know the brother. Let's cast her. So here she is. And she has gone on to star in such films as Geostorm. Speaking of Gerard Butler,
All right.
and Love, Simon, good movie.
Okay.
And the movie Countdown, where an app tells you how many minutes you have left to live.
And that's different than the Justin
Yes.
Timberlake movie.
In Time.
This is
In
the one
Time.
with like
Is
the
it In Time or just
poor
Time?
girl from Happy Death Day being tortured now by
Yes.
an app.
Oh, yeah.
And then she also her most recent project was that she starred as the daughter of the main character that was left behind by Hilary Swank when she went away. I was an astronaut. Was that an Apple TV Plus one or Netflix or something like that? A little scene streaming show where Hilary Swank was an astronaut who went away.
Okay.
So that's the last project of Talitha Bateman.
Cool.
next we'll go to Linda Lulu Wilson. And this character, Linda, really does have some MVP moments of like, I'm not doing this horror movie thing. Like, she has the ball gun problem, but then later she's like, I'm gonna put this doll in the well, and I was hoping she'd burn it, but she didn't. Anyways, she had some great moments where she was just like, I don't care, let's get out of here, you know? Okay. Anyway, so I guess this girl, Lulu Wilson, starred in Ouija, Origin of Evil, which is a movie that I've seen, but I don't remember who she was. Apparently she was a bad guy and antagonist. And so after that experience...
That's the good one, right?
That's the good one. That's the Flanagan one.
I think so. It came out in 2016, and it must be a Flanagan one because, well, we'll get there. Okay, so it came out in 2016, and then she was like, I had fun being in that horror movie, but I want to be in a horror movie now and be like a protagonist or a good character instead of an evil character. And so then she tried out for this one and got it. Nice. She has gone on to continue in the Flanagan verse. She has visited both the houses of Usher and Haunted Hill.
Okay.
And
no Bly Manor?
Apparently not. Took a break for that one. And then her biggest project is that she is the titular Becky in the movie Becky, which I think was a Redbox thing, but did well enough that it actually got a sequel called Wrath of Becky.
Oh boy.
And it's apparently a Home Alone situation where it's like a teenage girl but then she like fully kills the robbers because it's like a horror movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
it's like a horror, maybe comedy. I'm not sure. Anyway, she is Becky.
Becky.
All right.
A Redbox original. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Redbox.
Nancy, Philippa Coulthard. She was a star of Australian children's television before getting this role. She starred in probably all or most of the episodes of the Australian TV show K9, which is based on the robotic dog from Doctor Who. Tyler?
Reference acknowledged.
All right.
Okay. Apparently, because the original Doctor Who's are so old that the story writers, messed up all the rights. And so they retained rights to certain characters that do not belong to the Doctor Who-universe or BBC anymore. So this guy was able to take the robotic dog only from Doctor Who, make several spin-off shows. This is like the third spin-off show he tried to do. This was in like 2009, 2010. It was a one-season spin-off show about the robotic dog in which they could not reference any of the things from Doctor Who, but the robot dog was doing things with these kids, I guess. And so that lasted for one season.
Okay.
And then she went on...
kids. Okay.
Well, I don't know what they were having adventures or something, but
that
not
sounds
doing
better.
anything similar to what they would have done were they with Doctor Who. Okay. Then she starred in another Australian teen show called Alien Surf Girls, which was about some aliens that got stranded on Earth and became surf girls.
All right.
Did Bindi Irwin's guest star in an episode?
Oh my God, I hope so. I do hope so.
Alien Surf Girls.
And then one of her most recent projects was that she was in the miniseries Howard's End with the one person that could save you from the bends in a little tent on the ice. Yeah. Haley Atwell.
Terrible.
All right. Carol. Grace Caroline Curry. She does go on to be in Shazam, and notably is the only member of the Shazam family who eventually is hot enough to play themselves in the superhero version. Because in Shazam Fury of the Gods, they no longer felt they needed to cast like an older actress to play the superhero version. They just made her look hotter and more confident as a superhero.
I never saw the second one.
Me neither. But in the first one, there is another actress that plays her superhero self. In the second one, they were like, I don't know, she's hot enough. She's an adult now. Let's do it.
That's the one where a boy gets the powers of Merlin, right? It's a wizard.
The second one?
It is a wizard.
No. Oh, yeah.
I thought the wizard's name was Shazam.
Maybe.
I think the wizard's name is Shazam.
Yeah.
But he is like an old wizard guy.
Yeah. And then the foster kids all become,
Wizard.
Family Shazam.
Anyway, so she also has recently starred in The Fall, that movie, or maybe it's just called Fall, where two girls get stuck on top of a really big pole.
Yeah, I think it's just called Fall. Yeah.
49 meters above.
Yeah, and I have watched about 3/4 of that movie, and she is the main character, I think.
Okay.
So did you see anyone fall, or you only watched part of it?
I do think someone falls in the part that I watched, but it's sort of like,
People are just staying up
well,
there.
I don't want to spoil it,
No
but if
one
you've
fell
ever
at all in
seen
that
like
movie.
that movie Adrift with Shailene Woodley, it's like got similar vibes to that. So I can't remember if the fall really happened or not.
Or did they stay up there until it's fall?
Yeah. And then what I found interesting is that her next project coming up is a film called The Leader, starring Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh my God.
What?
A Marvel spinoff?
No, it's not a Marvel spinoff.
multiple worlds? Shut up, Tim Blake Nelson. We already know this. This is not new news.
Oh God.
It's based on I forgot which cult. Haley's Comet.
Sure.
One of the cults. It's based on one of those suicide cults. It stars Tim Blake Nelson, and it's called The Leader. And it also stars Vera Farmiga. Yay!
Wow, all right.
Connections.
Nice.
Okay, so that's where we'll next see Grace Caroline Curry. Probably not another Shazam. Okay, and then Kate, who is the one black girl of the orphans. Taylor Buck is the actress's name. She was in 33 episodes of Superman and Lois in the Arrowverse, if you know that.
Sure.
I don't know if you're familiar with this character, but she played Natalie Lane Irons, who was a multiversal, like a daughter of Lois Lane in another multiverse where she married John Henry.
Yeah.
Like the mythical character,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
who I guess
Steel.
is a guy in
okay.
DC. And so, yeah, she was apparently quite a big character in that show.
I'm not sure. I think that is the superhero Steel that Shaq played in.
Ooh.
I was like, yeah, is that?
I don't know. I
have
just
no
clicked on
idea.
it and it was like, he's John Henry from like John Henry.
The Steel driving man.
Yeah. And then she's also been on, and you know, every time I hear about one of these shows, I'm like, am I racist?
It is the same Steel.
Oh, well, that was a DC movie?
1997.
Oh my God. Okay. She's his daughter then.
Okay.
Every time I hear about
daughter.
one of these shows, I think I might be racist because I've never heard of them and they've all been on for a million years and are highly successful. But she has been in 106 episodes and counting of Tyler Perry's Assisted Living, which is a story of a man who picks up his family of teens and moves them to some rural place where they have to take care of their old grandma or something.
Huh. Never heard of it.
So, I feel so bad. It's been
What
on for
channel is
7
it on?
years. It's just got renewed for season 7.
What channel is it?
I think BET.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's in that show and is doing just
I
fine.
don't have cable.
All right, and then finally we've got some of the fun ones here. The Demon Bee voice,
Oh.
Jesse.
Not an actual bee, the girl.
Yes.
B.
Not
there was a demon
not
bee?
the B movie bee,
was
which
Buzz.
looks like a demon.
It was Buzz.
It was Demon Bee's voice, Jesse Giacomazzi.
I thought you said Jesse the body.
No, her name's Jessie Giacomazzi. Her dad, this is one of those ones where her dad is a stunt coordinator in lots of movies. Not this one, but in enough movies that I guess she was around and they were like, hey, that kid makes a funny demon voice. Like, let's get her in the booth.
Get Giacomazzi's kid in there.
Yeah. She didn't do that many other movies, but she just, like, you know, in 2025 graduated from Agora High School, and she will be attending the University of Tampa to play lacrosse.
Oh, wow. All right.
And then we've got uncredited church girl, Addison Ozols, who I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think her dad is a special effects person who has worked on like 1,000 movies, but not this one.
I think her dad's a special effect.
Yeah. And she was a
Very impressive.
when she was in school, she was a highly competitive dancer and golfer. And now she is currently studying business and creative writing at Chapman University in Orange. And then finally, uncredited small boy, which I don't even know when there was a small boy, maybe at the church. But that is the actor Liam. I can't even read my own writing. Liam something Ramos, who has starred in a bunch of episodes of Bosch Legacy and is a recurring guest voice artist on Young Jedi Adventures.
Oh, okay.
So you've probably heard him before.
Heard his voice.
I love how many people, because of the sequel nature of this podcast, end up in Bosch. It's so exciting for the dads out there.
Indeed.
Enjoy your armchairs.
And no child check-in for this episode because this is all made up.
Fake as hell.
Nothing, no Warrens, no real life, no nothing.
What's Annabelle doing these days?
Yeah, seriously. So anyways, that's it for the Child Star check-in.
Nice. Ever since you're talking about demon bees, I've just been thinking about the pop star bee thing.
I didn't even see that movie. So.
I can't stop thinking about those jokes.
Yeah.
So funny.
So I guess we race to the end here where we find out what happens to basically everybody dies.
They lock.
No, they all live.
They live.
The kids. Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
so
yeah.
the husband and wife die.
Does the nun actually die?
No,
she gets out.
Does a nun die in this?
No.
No, yeah. She gets thrown against the wall very violently. But.
Yes, she makes it. The wife is cut in half.
Yeah,
and crucified. Half
Oof.
crucified.
Yeah.
Sucks for her.
That mask did not save her.
No.
Yeah.
And
they never had her playing the organ. That's going to be a major
Lame.
knock on this film.
I better not get a YouTube thing being like, there's copyrighted music in this episode.
Patrick Wilson gave us permission.
You can't monetize it in Russia. Whatever. This morning.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
so this demon that is wildly powerful, killing people left and right, manifesting scarecrows and all these other things, then takes on the presence of this little girl and she just takes a little walk.
A long walk.
A long walk.
Well, okay, so she's been possessed for like the second half of the movie.
Yes.
And they lock her in the room, the Bible room, and she burrows her way out of there and leaves the doll behind.
Like a little gremlin.
Because I think at this point the doll is just not. It's just
nothing.
It's just the doll.
Yeah.
The kid disappears, and I had forgotten how this movie ended.
Well, they just
oh fuck.
They just are like, well, I guess she's gone. Like they don't try to look for her. They don't try to save her.
The police looked left. They looked right. And didn't see her. Didn't see her.
And there's like a
polio must have gotten her.
God.
There's a really polio back. So,
there's a really awkward scene where they're like, "We have blessed the house." It's like Poltergeist. The house is now clean, but then they leave anyway.
Yeah.
They don't even stay there, even though no one lives there now. Everyone's dead. They could just stay there if it is supposedly clean. And then he's like, "Oh, this doll's clean too. You guys want it?" And they're like, "Nah." And then he puts it in the trunk.
That's where they had to, because they had to build Westworld there shortly after.
Yeah, they did.
So we see photos of Janice ending up at a different orphanage, and then she gets adopted by some familiar faces.
Yes. And
then we get to watch Annabelle again.
Which I do think it's kind of stupid that they did the photo thing, because it's kind of like, it's obvious from the two parents being there that it's like, she's gonna be their daughter.
They wanted to kind of slowly be like, oh shit.
I guess.
I'm confused by like what this demon wants, because it can kill by touch.
It wants
and doing
an
all
innocent
of these things.
soul, right?
Yeah, but why didn't it kill anybody for the at least a decade that it lived with this couple?
And then she goes off and makes a cult in the name of the demon, which
Right.
would give it more power, you would think, but it has less power. And then this demon ends up being defeated because a random lady decides to jump out the window.
Well, okay.
Why couldn't she have taken this already? The demon could have taken the soul of the girl and possessed already.
Well, and it's just like a huge,
Or was
I
it
don't
like,
know.
I don't want this one. It had polio.
a huge plot hole / coincidence is like the doll ends up belonging to the lady who
Right.
lives next
Next
door,
door.
even though the doll is inert at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And then
It gets
Annabelle will
repossessed.
die in the room of the neighbor's house where the doll is.
Yeah. I do think it's weird that the movie goes so far into showing us Annabelle. Like, I was like,
I was
wow,
like,
we're
I
still
don't
going?
care.
They're going to show him go across and answer the door? Okay.
It is kind of like wild. I was thinking about Chucky so many times during
Yeah.
this movie too. Like when he first did the LE 100, I was like, oh no, is this going to be like, we got to track them all down someday? But I'm like, I think
would
I've
be
seen
amazing.
the other movie and it's definitely not that. So no. And then, this whole thing about like, oh, I'm in the doll, now I'm in a human, now I'm in the doll, now I'm in a human.
Yeah.
Like Chucky is doing that all the time.
Yeah.
All the dang time.
In multiple episodes of a singular season.
Right. Yeah. He's always hopping around.
Give me the power, I command you.
Give me the power, I beg of you. I miss Chucky. Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway.
This movie also ends on a classic Inception moment where you're like, did the doll move? I'm pretty sure it moves.
Yeah, the eyes move, right?
It turns its head, I think, for a split second.
Oh, right. I'm thinking of the other one. I'm already getting confused.
At the end, there's like that long shot of it, like, you're just staring at the doll. What's it gonna do? And then, like, it cuts to black. But I think right before that, it turns its head slightly.
Right. And so it's just really unclear. You're right. What does the demon want and how does it work? Because, okay, so it gets back into Annabelle the doll when Annabelle the girl / Janice dies. Then the demon is satiated when Alfred Woodard jumps out the window, but the demon is still in the doll because then
It needs to be locked away.
it gets purchased by the mother of Rick's girlfriend, the nurse, who has it in the house. And then it gets taken by the Warrens.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it gets sick. Well, because the doll disappears at the end of Annabelle, right? And then it's like randomly back in that antique shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, I think maybe the
It
demon,
might have just gone into a dumpster. Or
maybe
something.
the demon like takes the soul, but it doesn't leave the doll. It's still there, or still using the doll.
Well, I think maybe it just didn't have any suitable body to go into because Alfred Woodard dies.
Well, yeah, and also doesn't like Patrick Wilson explain that the doll's not possessed, but is being used by something else? Like he explains that.
Usually,
in the first movie, doesn't he?
that's what
Yeah.
he's always saying. That's what's the same with
Yeah.
Bill Richards or whatever that guy's name was.
So I don't know. The demon's still lurking around. I guess.
It's also just like, what is the power level of this thing?
The demon
Because,
want
like-
only one soul? Probably not.
Yeah. But what was the point of making the whole cult? And then why'd she come back?
I think like for non-psychopaths like us,
Yeah.
the tying it back into Annabelle probably makes sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, cool. They tied it back into the movie.
I
But if
think
you
really
about
just
it,
kind of the crux, the saddest part of this movie is that, like we've been introduced to this concept in the first Annabelle movie about like the soul needs to be given willingly, and they actually don't even really talk about that in either of the Conjurings. We've had the people who have been possessed get really like down, but they never, there's never this question that they're going to give themselves over.
Yeah.
And this
it's
poor girl who's an orphan and has polio, like she just, once she gets possessed, she just like gives up. She gave up already before she got possessed because she's like, no one's listening to me. I'm too weak to run away. And the thing wants me and I can't defend myself.
it was like, what did Valak even want? Like just to kill Patrick Wilson? Or to kill the girl? Like what?
No, I think Valak was trying to torture Lorraine.
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But which would make sense because Lorraine and Ed are going around, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like that's like, yeah.
demons.
Well, I guess
suppose.
there's the thing too is like, is there some watering hole of the demons are like, oh, the Warrens.
God dang it, Lorraine.
Who should we send at him next?
Yeah.
Annabelle, you're up. All right, the
I
nun,
know.
time for you to go.
Crooked Man? No, not you yet.
No.
La Llorona? Maybe, but if you get caught, we're not going to own that it was you. That we told you.
Mission Impossible rules.
Yeah, like we're tired of hearing you cry all the time. Get over it.
Oh man,
So yeah, this movie. Well, okay. There's a post-credit scene.
there is a post-credit scene.
That's pretty decent of the nun.
Right. There's a very awkward ham-fisted scene where Sister Charlotte is looking at a photo of like her 4 friends in nun
Yes.
school or something, and she's like, for some reason, even though this guy doesn't know any of these people, she wants to show the picture and be like, and this is my friend Sister so and so, and this is my friend Sister Maria, and this is my friend Sister Charlotte, or no, that's her name. Whatever. Anyways, she's literally telling him the names of every single person, and then she stops, and he's like, okay, well, what's that one's name? Like, why would you even say that?
Her name's
Like, why-
Sister Valak. Okay.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I don't know who that is.
It
Actually,
doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like she's just standing in the shadows.
Yeah,
creepily. I
and
didn't
it's
even
also
see
like
her.
photobombing is not even a thing
Yeah.
now by 2017, and it wasn't a thing then either. So
Yeah, you can just AI erase everyone out.
yeah.
Yeah. So the nun shows up in the end credits, and you're like, oh shit, here comes the nun.
Yeah.
Comes the nun.
I do think that that scene with the frame is sort of like, again, the nun's whole fucking thing is that you're like, is she there? Is she not there? You turn the thing, she's there. You turn it again, she's not there. That is the nun's number one favorite thing to do. But I do think one thing this movie did.
Don't go to an art museum.
I think that like this movie successfully sort of enhanced the like beat a little eyeballs thing.
Yeah.
I think that those are some of the moments that I liked in this one.
Oh yeah, when it's like clearly Janice, and then she backs into the shadows,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah,
eyes
yeah,
going
yeah.
up high.
Yeah.
Creepy.
And there's some moments like even very early on where the girl's just there and the beady little eyeballs or something, and they just never even address it. They're
Yeah.
like up in the corner or something like that.
Well, the
yeah.
first time she takes the stair lift too, it's like there's that dark hallway behind her, and you see like the kid in the background.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Good
Pretty
stuff.
good. I think it might be time for the rating system.
Let's do it.
I almost just want to say, how many Patrick Wilson-less scenes would you give?
100% Patrick Wilson's list scenes.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. That's a good thing. Okay, fine. How many bloodied porcelain phantom masks would you give?
Come on. This is us gesturing toward Justin.
I was thinking about how Annabelle got pancaked by a dump truck. I'm kidding. Little Annie B.
Okay. Oh gosh. I mean, I guess I'll give it 6. Is that too low?
It's up to you.
What did you give the first one?
Your life is your.
What did I give the first one? I don't remember.
The first Annabelle?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I feel like I gave it like a 2 or something.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll give it like.
Who can remember?
I can't remember. I reserve the right to adjust later, but I guess I'll give it 6.
Maybe I should start taking notes on what
Patrick
everyone
Wilson.
gives.
I mean, we've been threatening to do that for years.
Years, yeah.
We could have a chart.
Yeah, if we had fans, then they could do it for us.
Yeah.
Like, you always hear those other podcasts like Blank Check where the people are like
They gotta do
calculating
that.
everything
They
for
got to
them.
do corrections every episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll say 6 Patrick Wilson-less scenes.
Nobody sings in this.
I mean, like I said,
Actually, someone does sing, don't they? Sing like
Yeah.
"You Are My Sunshine" once. Yeah.
it's a record, I think. I don't think anyone sings
no
it.
one
Yeah.
else
She-
sings
the,
it?
no, the little girl sings it.
Oh,
I thought she maybe sings it once.
Anyways, I just didn't think it was as good as I remembered, and I think it is, remembered much more fondly than it maybe deserves to be. But again, it's just like you just got this completely separate tier of like the 2 Conjurings, and then all these other ones are just like in a big bucket for me.
Yeah, I think maybe once you see some of the other movies coming in the future, you'll be like, you know what, that movie was pretty good.
No, I've seen all of them. I just don't remember.
But you don't remember.
Yeah.
You didn't remember this one.
No, I didn't. Really
So there you go.
remember it, yeah.
But
I did remember the girl had polio.
She got that polio. I'm gonna give it 7 Patrick Wilson-less scenes.
Yeah.
Which
Oh wait, I thought we were gonna do Phantom Masks.
We did.
I already forgot.
Yeah.
Oh.
The first one was better. It's
I'm gonna give it 1, 2, 3.
Stop.
No, okay, sorry. 7 Phantom Masks, or Patrick Wilson-less scenes, whichever one you know what, whichever one you want.
Yeah.
I think this movie's still pretty good. I think it holds up. You know, I thought all the scares were really well crafted, and you know, there's the story is pretty bare bones, but I feel like in the end it's the scares that count, and I think they do a good job. Like especially if you compare it to the original Annabelle, where we were like, you know, is Annabelle in this movie? And you know, like we got the stupid demon walking around. Yeah, it's like this movie is leaps and bounds better than that, and so I'm gonna grade it next to that, and so I give it 7. Good stuff. I think it's worth watching.
I think I'm gonna give it 8.
Wow.
Phantom Masks.
Wow.
I think that it does a lot of creative stuff. I feel like that it broke a lot of the rules and kind of played into expectations. I don't think that it ages as well as, because I think a lot of movies have gotten wise to that and are doing the same things, so it doesn't feel as dangerous as it did in 2017. Because it's almost 10 years ago now, which is crazy. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of creativity in about how it's happening, but I also think that it is, it was just so shocking for it to be, you know, the 4th movie in this series and to have, you know, some fresh things to do, especially after the first Annabelle.
I do think it's pretty daring because it's not, you know, we watch these obscure or smaller horror films all the time. We go to Beyond Fest, whatever. So we are used to seeing the ones that end like, there's no hope in the world. We're all fucked and you're depressed and every character died or whatever. So we're kind of used to that. But for a big studio tentpole horror, it's very unusual. They always end with somebody getting out, you know, a final girl or hope for the future in some way. And this is just like, nah.
Yeah.
And I feel like it does a good job of overcoming, like, you know, I guess people, you know, we talked about this with The Conjuring 2. Like, I guess people, like, not everyone loved that movie. And so they kind of take this movie to have an opportunity to go back to the tropes of the first one of, like, a bunch of kids in a house. And it's, like, very similar location to the original film. But I feel like they overcome that, and, like, it actually is also a good movie.
Yeah, I think the if you looked at the outline, you'd be like, eh. And I think that there's some creativity in the actual execution of the scenes that I think that they're pretty fun.
Before I forget, what's the Abby story?
Abby went to go see this movie with Justin's wife in who is terrified of demons in Costa Rica, and they had a wonderful theater experience, and everybody in the theater was losing their minds or just being like, Dios mío.
For those who don't know, like,
This is in Costa Rica.
You know, they have an official religion of Catholicism.
Yes.
They're Catholic, and so
demons are real.
This is a legit scary film. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't they also go tour a haunted asylum or something on that same trip?
I've been there twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty creepy place.
Pretty creepy.
Pretty creepy place, but I like it.
So it was just a fun.
Some random guy
memory.
scared the shit out of me there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty funny.
Was it Jason Momoa?
Sadly, no. Well,
Oh man.
lucky for us, this movie did really well. It made $306 million worldwide against a production budget of $15 million. Whew.
Damn, that's really cheap for this movie.
Yeah, that's crazy. And also, this was the movie that pushed it, the whole franchise, over the $1 billion.
Maybe LaPaglia charges by the emotion.
What was the show he was on for like 100 years? Some CBS thing. Anyway, oh, by the way, there are 2 child stars that I did not talk about, if you didn't notice. I never talked about middle white girl. That's because she is the actress Lulu Saffron. And so with a last name like that,
I wonder where that...
she will be back.
Wow, interesting.
And the other girl who plays B, she will be back as well.
Oh, cool. Well, you know what? This one does have a sequel, but we're not going to talk about that right now because that's not the next one in the order.
No, it does not.
Literally, so this
Wait,
is
who's
like
that in the picture?
What's that one's name? What's that person I don't know's name and will never see in my entire life?
So this is nuts. We're like, so you know, last week. This is nuts. The Nut Job 2 was also out the same weekend as Annabelle Creation.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Without a Trace is the LePage.
Oh, right. Okay. I knew it was one of those.
The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. Another sequel we haven't talked about. Oh, so I was going to say this is crazy because so we're in the middle of this stretch of the Conjuring universe where there is a new movie out every year. So we had The Conjuring 2 in 2016. We got Annabelle Creation, which we just talked about in 2017. Immediately the next year, 2018, we have The Nun. And, then there's like another movie after that. And then we get into some COVID situations. But yeah, so next time we are going to be talking about The Nun. Finally, The Nun returns.
It's Nun time.
The Nun one.
The Nun one.
And we're not talking about Sister Charlotte. She's just a nun.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
talking about the nun. Valak.
This is the Nun, you guys. If there's one nun you need to know about, it's this one. It's The Nun. The Nun. So we'll be talking about that next time. Next time on the podcast. But in the meantime, Eliz, where can people reach out?
Email us scary stories or suggestions at sequelrights@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at Sequel Rights.
And rate and review us wherever you're listening. If you've already done that, share out some of your favorite episodes that we've done in the past. We did a lot of Chucky talk today. If you just have not had enough dolls, I feel like I call it the Chucky one every single time. I'm proud of that run. It's a good series.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you want to hear this sound every single episode, send us an email and I'll do it. All right, I'll stop it. For now, unless people email in and demand it. But in the meantime, thank you guys for being here as we talk about Annabelle Creation, and we can't leave you without another AI-generated song.
I feel like this is a real good one.
This one's all about Janice. I don't even know if I should say the title of the song or not.
No, don't say it.
You know what? Just enjoy it. It's all about Janice. She's one of the main characters of the film, other than Annabelle. And a nun, I guess. You know.
Annabelle Creation.
Yeah. But enjoy this Janice-themed song, and we'll see you guys next time for The Nun.
She limped into the house of the Mullins pair, a sweet orphan girl in a wheelchair. Survived the fever, beat the odds, took every step with a prayer to God. The other girls played, they laughed in the sun. Janice just watched but still had fun. But fate don't care how hard you try. Some kids are just born marked to die. Stared out with soulless eyes, and Janice fell for the devil's lies. The closet opened, shadows moved, the wheelchair rattled, no one approved. Thrown from the stairs, then dragged and bound, while Sister Charlotte prayed without a sound. Samuel made a doll to mourn, but grief turned to something torn, a vessel for a demon's rage. Now Janice becomes its cage. Whoa! soul. She's Annabelle now, she's lost control. The doll just smiles, it's all a bluff. And I'm still asking, wasn't polio enough?